In the world of professional golf, there exists an elite club. A club filled with legends, household names, and rising stars. A club where membership is earned yearly with time, sweat, and dedication. This week, 50 players will gain entry into this exclusive fellowship. The top 25 from the regular season have already secured their spots, and another 25 spots are up for grabs here this week. Some dreams will be realized. Others will have to wait another day. Who will be next to join the likes of Jason Duffner, Grant Snedeker, and Keegan Bradley as the next great Web.com Tour graduate? EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present opening round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This is the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. Pressure-packed environment. 50 PGA Tour cards are up for grabs. Frank, this is a great day for golf, and the conditions here at Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, look to be really good.
Rich, scoring conditions are absolutely optimal today. Expect to see a lot of low numbers.
Here we are now at the 11th. Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
When you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where there's a little lull. As long as you can minimize the damage over the course of 4 days, turns out all right. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. And now the second shot here at this par 5. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
So a little slow out of the gates, but now Frank's starting to pick it up.
Yeah, and into the ebb and flow of the game. We know you can't hit good shots all the time, so if you can just ride out the little bad patches like now, then things can still get up very quickly.
See how they do on this approach. Frank, we're really watching the next generation of PGA Tour stars, aren't we?
Yeah, this player in particular, Rich, amateur pedigree, already a winner of the NCAAs, and I've always thought that success early on is a predictor, really, of talent long term, and this player has all the tools.
a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. Third place now.
Up now, hole number 12. It's a short one, 358 yard, par 4.
This can catch you off guard. If you just try and hit the ball on the fairway, if you're on the middle of the fairway, the left side, you will have a blind second shot. So ideally, hit it down that right side of the fairway if you want to see the flag. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. No fairway here. This one in that rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
That's a tough lie to come out of. Not surprising it's come up short.
Well short right there, but still in the game for a par.
Rich, you know, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back out into the fairway and not make a big number.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. So with that, the score is now at even par. Now to the 5th. This long par 4 thought to be one of the most difficult holes on the front side here at the TPC Sawgrass.
If you've got plenty of length in the bag, you can almost take it directly over the bunker on the right. But if you're not as long, you have to air down that left side. Fine.
Really some strong winds out there today, and we can already see the effects on some of these shots. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
now comfortably inside that cut line. The former national champ makes birdie. Frank, you don't want to get too cute with that second shot here at the 6th.
I remember many a time, Rich, when they put the flag right of center. You try and hit it a little bit too close, those palm trees all of a sudden come into play. Hits one of those, that ball can go anywhere.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Frank, now the second shot here at hole number 6.
Yeah, not overly long, but be very aware of these palm trees that are short. Many a shot's caught those trees coming into this green. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
And he's made it onto the green now. And getting ready for the putt. So close.
Oh, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. So a tester from 4 feet. So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. 7th hole here at Sawgrass. Frank, a bit uncomfortable off the tee.
It is. It reminds me a little bit of the opening hole, much longer version, where when you stand on the tee and look at the green, it's a straightaway hole. But that fairway goes to the left, then it comes back to the right. But they're all optical illusions.
That was just a beautiful drive and hit it solid and right in the middle. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good, clean contact and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
This would give him the par. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. TPC Sawgrass, the fabled stadium course designed by the legendary Pete Dye. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Here at the 8th, Frank, most players are happy walking out of here with a par 3.
And the reason why, it's a very narrow entry to this green. It's just littered with bunkers around, left, behind, to the side, and even short. Once you get further up the green, though, even though this is sort of an undulating green, it starts to widen up. So don't get trapped into just looking at the front of this hole.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus. Oh, good roll, good putt.
Frank, the 9th is really a good par 5, isn't it?
There's so many options here. Just play it away, sort of 3-wood it down there, then go to the right and sort of wedge it on the green. But it's very tempting. Member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Frank, when you think layup shot on a par 5, you think it's easy. This isn't necessarily that simple, is it?
No, you've got to keep the ball to the right. Otherwise, those overhanging limbs on those trees on the left, they become havoc.
Playing a par 5, Frank, what happened on that third shot?
Yeah, it's a poor decision. But well, hopefully he can eradicate that from the memory banks and really knuckle down on this. Do not want to drop a shot or make 6 here.
Well, at last, a birdie. Don't forget third round coverage coming your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long for now. EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present third round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This is the third round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. So we're into the weekend, Frank, and just remind people what's at stake here.
Top 50 players are going to go forward and play the big tour, the PGA Tour, the chance to play in major championships, the chance to become a star of the future. And right now, Rich, there's just 36 holes separating them between now and their dream.
Frank, what's so much fun about TPC Sawgrass is the excitement that it generates for a fan and how many different holes there are. 12 is a good example.
Yeah, 12 looks like it's fresh from Scotland. You can see why Pete Dye spent a lot of time over there. Tee shot looks straight away, but the second shot is blind. The shot you get in Scotland with a wedge where you just see the top of the flagstick and you've got to really guesstimate on the yardage that you have. But a good wedge shot and someone that can judge their distance, this is certainly a birdie hole.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well. Even par, currently.
He'll take par and move on. Frank, so much focus on the back nine here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass on the 17th hole with the island green. I think 13 gets lost sometimes, but the pros know this is a really good hole.
Oh, it can be disastrous too. That's, I think, what you're referring to, Rich. There's a big ridge in the middle of this green that bisects the top side with the bottom side on the left. So even when the flag's on the left, you don't have to go directly at it, because that normally causes the problem with the wooden bulkheads down the left side and obviously the water left of that. So something on the ridge can often run down towards the left. But we have seen the odd hole-in-one here over the years.
Good looking shot right here. Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Oh, what an incredible shot. Frank, historically in this great championship, 14 has proven to be a pivotal hole.
Everybody focuses on the finish here, but you're absolutely right, Rich. This can be an absolute scorecard record, because if you spin your drive left, the drop back, perhaps on the ladies' tees, you can make 6 in a heartbeat. You try and air to the right, you can make 6 from the mounds. So a good drive down 14 gives you a chance for that fast finish. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, challenging approach shot here at the 14th.
Yeah, there's some subtle mounds in this green. One that comes in on the right, and then another one that starts to come in about 2/3 of the way down on that left side.
midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
And he makes it for par. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right, and really 2 good shots, and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly, and 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite.
Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich, there's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of this green. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away.
That will be a great look at birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Well, yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This is one of the most exciting days of the year in golf. It's the final round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the 4th and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. And Frank, this is the day that dreams are realized, and I'm talking about lifelong dreams.
You're exactly right, Rich. They say pressure is relevant, perhaps a putt to win a major championship or win a PGA Tour event. What about the thought of actually having another career? That's right, 18 holes. That's what it's going to take today. And maybe you have a career that's going to last for many a year going forward. But it all has to happen today.
If you're just joining us, we're at the 15th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 449-yard par 4. Frank, what's in store here?
One of the prettiest tee shots on the golf course, Rich. Once again, you're coming out of a chute of trees, big bunker down the right side. Really, you want to hug that right side, though. It gives you a better entry into this green.
Has this from 170 yards away. You want to get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18 with a chance. 16 is the reachable par 5. You can make eagle there. And then the final 2 holes, you just want to steer clear of trouble. Though, with bold play, and you mentioned it with Craig Perks, you could make birdies.
It really is a case of mind over matter when you look at those holes. You're right. If you took away the water, you'd think they're 3 nice holes. But it wouldn't be the same. You intimidate the player as he plays 15. He's well aware of the finishing 3 holes.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just a couple of feet. Well, you can't afford to give away strokes coming down the stretch. Now the start of the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18. Par 5, 16. Frank, Tiger made birdie here all 4 days in winning in 2013.
Fred Couples made that fantastic eagle many years ago. Hole bends a little to the player's left. You don't have to hit driver here if you're a long hitter, but you really must move that ball right to left.
So the shot has landed, I'm not sure if it's on the mulch or in the mulch. Either way, it's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have mulch of a shot you left.
Frank, for players looking to improve their putting, what are some of the training methods they can use?
I think speed is always a good one when you get on the putting green and you just practice trying to putt inside that 3-foot circle, because in the end all sports are the same. You're trying to focus in on the destination where that ball has to be delivered, whether it's tennis inside the court or basketball inside the rim. Putting's no different. As you get further and further away from the hole, then you just make an acceptable size circle that you're trying to putt within. So pace, very important.
Now the third shot at the par 5. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
That was not a very good read right there. Par attempt here. in for par. Frank, how early in the round are you thinking about the shot at 17?
Well, when you're playing well, you're pushing it ahead. Maybe you don't think about it till 14 or 15. If you're struggling, you might be thinking it early as the 5th or the 6th hole. But put it this way, when you make the walk from 16 to 17, you are thinking of it every inch of the way. Hazard?
Maybe wet. Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
So they'll tap in. Frank, this is where you want to step away from the controller for just a second.
Yeah, good. Mr. Good just met Mr. Bad.
Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. 462-yard par 4, Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the right to give you something specifically to aim at. So you've got to fixate on one of those trees. This is not a hole where you want to be looking at anything other than a specific target.
Frank, one of our colleagues at Golf Channel, Brian Hammond's always liked to say, keep it. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. He got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
He has this for par. Has his par. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested So seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.